All right, so we should be live right now, but before we kind of get things underway, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
I want to shout out, of course, God for giving me the opportunity and the gifts. My parents, my coaches for the hard work that we put in over the years, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, first things first. This kind of by surprise. So your team plays in South, or you live in South Carolina, but then for some reason, whatever reason why you can't explain, you're playing like the North Carolina Conference and for the North Carolina State Championship. So my first kind of question with that is like, when you're play, like, do you play a lot of games like that are super far away from, besides like a home game, like any of your games like super far away?
Nah. So we would have made it. I think the farthest we went this year was I think Raleigh or Fayetteville. I think it's Fayetteville, but if we would have been playing for the championship, I think that would have been in Burlington versus the Burlington school. So it kind of varies on the playoff part, but during the regular season, all of the teams are either in Gastonia or Charlotte, so it's not that far away from us.
Okay. And since like you compete in North Carolina Conference, but then again, you're from South Carolina, like, do you think South Carolina basketball is better than North Carolina basketball? Or are you maybe kind of like impartial since you're technically like a player of both, or what's kind of your side to that debate?
I'm gonna have to go with North Carolina all day. South Carolina has a few players. Jay Jazion Gordman.
Mhm.
You got Julian Phillips and then
Yep.
myself. But North Carolina is loaded, so I'm gonna pick North Carolina all day when it comes to talent wise.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like none of your like buddies are watching this because usually, like any player, like if I ever ask, like, do you think your team's the best, or it's like, do you think you're the best player in the class? Like, it's always a yes, like yes, we're the best, man. You just threw your state like under the bus, and you're like, no, North Carolina is much better.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it definitely took like it is tough for me sometimes, like when I'm talking to players and I'm like, so you think you guys are gonna win Peach Jam? And I know like they're not gonna win, but they're like, yeah, we're so good, and but it's what they do. Like even in the NBA too, like it gives you like a lot of optimism. Like the teams with the worst records, they'll ask them before the season like how they're gonna do. They're gonna be like, we're gonna make the playoffs, everything. Like it does kind of make you feel a little bit good watching it, but looking kind of like through your Instagram, it definitely seems like you had a pretty big recruitment at one point or another, like just tons of offers all coming your way, and we see that a lot. Like I feel like every month there's just like a player that just blows up like out of nowhere, and just gets an offer basically every single day. So you were kind of going through that recruitment hot period. Just what was that all like?
It was a blessing because where I'm from, nobody has made it out, in sports. So like I'm the first one to do this. So my city, my town, they congratulate me a lot. So it's just knowing that you the next big thing in your town. It makes you feel good. So I was on my coaches during the year because when I first got to Westminster, I had one offer, which was from Presbyterian. So I picked up my second offer after my playoff game against Northside Christian, which was from Murray State. I'll be on my coaches like, why they not offering me? Why I ain't got no big time offers? And then once the AAU season hit, when we went to Lake Point, that's when the offers start rolling. It felt like I was getting two offers a week.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept going, and so it was just a fun process. All these coaches, contacting your phone and just letting you know that they thinking about you. It was a blessing, and it's a great feeling.
And your recruitment now, like it hasn't slowed down completely, but I guess you could say it's not as crazy as it was a few years ago. Like I guess yeah, like last week, almost a week ago today, you got an offer from VCU, which is obviously pretty big time, and looks like you got Clemson on the exact same day. So two big time offers right there. But now we got guys like Dylan Mitchell or or then I know someone else like in Orlando, like he's kind of blowing up too. Maybe like what would be your advice to them? Because now like they're going through that like blowing up process just like you were.
I would say, just enjoy the process. Don't try to make no decisions too fast. Let you gotta hear what the coaches, say. Go visit the schools and have fun with it because this only gonna happen, one time. So have fun.
And were there at all thoughts like actually I don't want to like throw him under the bus, but like I saw like Dylan Mitchell actually tweeted out because his recruitment's been like go ever since like I guess he locked up Amani and everything. Like he's been blowing up and everything and getting like an offer every day, like kind of like what was happening to you. And he did a tweet recently and he was like, all right, I'm gonna cut my list next week. But then he's like, actually, you know what? No, like I'm gonna take my time with my recruitment. Actually, I'm not gonna make a cut list or anything. Were you ever going to that point too in your recruitment where it was really getting that busy where you're like, all right, like I think I might want to make a cut list, or were you just, always playing, just kind of take your time with it?
It's crossed my mind a few times, but after talking to my parents and my coaches, I plan on cutting my list August 16th, which is my birthday. So, see what I can get now and then cut my list and, commit by the time the season starts so I can, focus on my senior year with no pressure.
And I know those official visits. It's definitely coming back. Do you have any plans on what schools you want to take an official visit to?
Right now, all I have, I'm going to VT for official June 5th, and then I've set up some unofficials to Elon June 6th and Wake Forest June 7th. But everything else is, on the fly. Just looking at my schedule. Also, I'm going to East Tennessee State for unofficial June 21st. So those four schools. I'm looking forward to seeing what they offer uh, when I get up there.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm not a Division 1, or I'm not, going to be a Division 1 athlete in my life. So when I do these interviews, like I want to learn as much as I can about kind of how this process works. So I know Virginia Tech offered you, and so you're going to take an official visit to there. But then I pretty sure like Wake Forest and what was the other school you said besides Eastern?
Easton,
Yeah.
Elon.
Oh yeah, and Elon. I don't think they offered you. So why did you choose to take like so then I was thinking like okay maybe it's like official visits you go to when they offer, but then you said Eastern Tennessee State you're going to take an unofficial too. So like how does that work? Like we're going to an official visit or an unofficial visit?
So Virginia Tech, with that, I kind of asked the coach, can we take this official because we get five? So I want to go ahead and use those up before I'm a senior. So uh, since we was already going up there for an unofficial, I just wanted to see if we could go ahead and make it an official. And Elon, they haven't offered me yet, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to when I get up there because a lot of schools have offered me through the phone. And when I get up there on campus, I know that they want to make it different where they can show me what all they have planned for me, then offer me while I'm up there with the coaches. And I think the same with Wake Forest and East Tennessee State. They offered me after the Lake Point tournament, the first session of On the Radar. That their coach was at Tennessee. The head coach now was at Tennessee last year, and the coach that's been recruiting me, he was at Charleston Southern. I mean, College of Charleston. He came to see me my 10th grade year. So me and him have a strong relationship. So I couldn't turn that down. I got to get up there and see what they have to offer.
Yeah. So like why are you kind of always only choosing to I guess make it the Virginia Tech one an official visit compared to all the other ones just making those unofficial visits?
Well, so like I said, VT they've uh they've already offered me, and that was my first. That was the first high major to contact me, so it meant a lot to me. So I was gonna go ahead and make that an official. And East Tennessee State. I wanna go see what they have to offer, and then if the time comes, then I can go back up there and schedule an official visit. So
Okay.
It was just kind of one of those things where me and my family was like, yeah, Virginia Tech, we need to make that one an official visit. So
Yeah. And did you say like so are you only allowed like 5 official visits or something like that? Is that what you said?
yeah, you're allowed 5 officials up until I think the end of June, and then that you can have five your senior year.
Okay. So I guess in total like 10 official visits.
Yes, sir.
And are you allowed to like let's say you already know you're committing to Virginia Tech or something like that. I don't know, like or I guess let's say you're committing to I'll make up like a school name like LeBron James University. You took the first official visit, and then you already know you're going to commit, but you still got some left over. Like you might as well go on another one. Is that like allowed for players to do, or once you take like one, you can't go back just for fun?
I'm not sure yet. Actually, my coach and I were talking about that today, and he told me to find out about it, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know you can take as many unofficials as you want. So if I was to take this official to Virginia Tech and then I wanted to commit, I'm pretty sure I could go up there for an unofficial just to see the campus again and hang with the coaching staff. But I'm not 100% sure if you can take an official to the same school twice.
And just about Virginia Tech specifically, have they brought up to you like I think they're building like a whole new arena or they're like updating their arena or whatever. Have they brought that up to you or not?
Yes, I've seen it. When Coach Frazier was there, he showed it to me, and I love it.
Yeah. So is that being built? Like, do you know when that's going to be finished, or because I don't think it's finished yet?
I'm actually not sure when it will be finished, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably be done before the season starts.
Okay. Yeah. That I mean it did look pretty nice to play in for sure. But can you maybe tell us like what sorts of schools have been showing you some recent interest?
Uh, Pittsburgh, Illinois, of course, like I said, Wake Forest, um, Butler. Those are the schools that's been on me hard that haven't offered me yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have the next tournament.
And another basic recruiting question. I'm not gonna lie, like I rarely ask these questions, but I don't know. Like I guess for you, I want to make it the at least beginning of the interview. Another basic recruiting question that I rarely ask, but I want to ask you like what are you looking for in a school?
Uh, I want to have a strong relationship with the coaches on and off the court. Uh, I want to play for a coach that lets their players play. So not a lot of plays ran. There's a lot of freedom with the guys, and the environment of the school, and how the people and the fans are at the school, and the education side of it. So education is a big part. Just in case basketball, doesn't work out, I have a backup plan.
And you bring up the fans. How difficult has this year been since the fans like couldn't have as big of a role as they usually do?
It was kind of tough. Seeing last year, this Westminster, they had a lot. Their student section was like packed. Because they were a losing program. Then once Coach Addy got hired as the head coach, his first year there, he went 20-5. So the whole gym was packed. They had to put seats on the stage. So I wanted that student section vibe this year, but unfortunately we couldn't get it. Only people that could be there was our parents. So it was kind of hard at the beginning, but as we got used to it, it kind of became normal.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure I get the exact. Did you guys get like a transfer recently?
Yes, sir, Khalil Marshall.
Yeah. So I guess it seems like you're kind of excited for that. Maybe before we get into like your expectations, kind of adding him to the roster, were you at all like kind of recruiting him to come to your school or hitting him up or anything?
Yes, I was. I would ask him like, what is his thoughts on the school? 'Cause, him and our assistant coach are very tight. They close friends, and there's like 3 or 4 players on the team that he's pretty close with. So I would ask him not to be trying to be in his business or aggravate him, but I would check in with him every few weeks and see what his thoughts are. And once he showed me the edit like a month before yesterday, I was excited. So when it became official, I told my dad because he's on the coaching staff too. We were very excited to add him to the team.
So you knew like a month before yesterday or whatever for that long?
Yeah, he showed me the edit.
So like why was I mean I'm curious like just like why would he wait, just like was yesterday like his birthday or something, or like why would he wait just so long?
I'm not sure. I think he had to get in with the admissions first, and they
Okay.
had to. So I think he had to fully get in before he could, put it out there. So
And this question's kind of weird, but like I hope I say this right. But Kataba, is that how you say it?
yeah,
Yeah. What do you know what that is or no?
nah, it's part of the Indian tribe. So like our our like little mascot or whatever was like a Indian spear. So
Okay.
so I'm assuming that's where that comes from.
Oh, is your school's football team like? Do they happen to be like really good?
We don't have a football team,
Oh,
so
okay. Then never
yeah.
mind. I've seen like because ESPN, like they put on like the high school football games too, and I swear there's a school that has a logo very similar to yours. I would play on there. So yeah, I just had to ask that real quick. But again, you do live in South Carolina, but I'm assuming like do you guys get like that exposure from like the Hoop State Network and everything?
Yes, sir, we do. And I know this year will be even more. We'll get even more exposure. I'm pretty sure we'll play a game like Combine. Word of God, we'll play some of those nationally ranked teams just because of the name that we've built there over the past 2 years.
And I'm just like I'm just one like teenager, so I really can't build like my own Hoop State Network. Where I live, but what they do, like I'm, just so impressed by what they put on. Like obviously it's like three, I guess, adults or like people in like their 20s and 30s, so they kind of have a lot more time and like more maturity to put on something like that. But like the podcast and the YouTube, like everything about it, they do a phenomenal job. Like what's it like being covered by them? Because like, even for a guy like me, and this is what I told Crease too, like I don't think he really understood what I was saying, but like a guy like me, I live in South Florida, but for a little bit, like also because I know Miles, because I like,
Hmm.
talked to him one day, so I kind of know him too. So I want to listen to his stuff. Like I'd be doing my homework, listening to the Hoop State Network podcasts. Like I was like really into North Carolina basketball for a little bit. So just like what's it like just getting that coverage by them, where I feel like they cover you guys as if they're like ESPN or something like that.
It feels good that we have like one of those top names and top people in our state. So, like I said earlier, the Hoop State is big. That's North Carolina. So, being under them and getting to play some of the top North Carolina teams and in the top North Carolina tournaments, it feels great. You finish a game and then you go on Instagram and all you see is Hoop State with
Mm-hmm.
with you being tagged in it. So, it's a great feeling. And also one of the Hoop State dudes, Ant Simmons, he's on our coaching staff for Team Curry. So, that's another plug that we have there.
Yeah, and hopefully I actually I think we're supposed to do. I was DMing him today. We're probably gonna do an interview next week, so I should definitely be cool for sure. But you bring up Steph Curry, uh, I mean he's a I guess I could say like I can kind of consider him a legend. Like I used to hate 3-point shots, but now like after watching him, this like you can't not like you can't not love the guy. Like he's unbelievable. So what's it like playing under his name?
It's good. A lot of people, you have the target on your back because of how good he is and what he's accomplished. So, just knowing what kind of database he's built and what kind of resume he has, it's a great thing to be a part of his team. And, hopefully we'll get to meet him pretty soon. Now since he didn't make the playoffs, so hopefully he can come down and chop it up with us.
Yeah. So when he lost in the playoffs, you were like a little happy, like I got a chance on meeting him.
Yeah, a little bit because our coach told us that they had no contact with him because during the playoffs, they weren't allowed to contact him. So, now that the playoffs are over, I'm hoping he can come down, hang with the boys.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll definitely be thrilled if he ever watches this to hear kind of happy he lost. I was a little like I was definitely a little bit mad just because I think he's been unbelievable. Like, I think he deserved to make the playoffs, but at least like the what's it called? The Grizzlies are up whatever 1-0, so it's like at least for now a little entertaining. But the game starts in like about an hour. Lakers Suns. I don't know. Do you follow the NBA a lot or not really?
Yeah, I do. I'm a big time LeBron fan, so I'm hoping he can pull it off tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if he doesn't. And they even have, I think like the Suns have like the highest odds, and then I'm pretty sure it's the Lakers to win the whole thing. Like I'm not even joking. That's what it said on like the bottom line on ESPN. So hopefully LeBron goes back to back. That'll be huge.
Facts. I'm hoping he
Yeah,
does.
I know, but then also like I saw a thing on Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN where they basically took like all the stats that would like make you a GOAT, like All Star appearances, MVPs, Finals MVPs, like final appearances and like championships, and
Hmm.
basically Michael Jordan has LeBron beat and like everything, and like it's not really close. So it's like it's such a difficult debate. Like it's not even worth talking about it.
Facts.
Yeah. Are you like a strong like LeBron guy, or are you more like favorite, like for me, like he's a favorite player, but I definitely respect the people that, love Michael Jordan. Like what's kind of your I guess your LeBron passion level thing?
I'm a LeBron dude, so like whatever team he goes to, that's the team I go to. I honestly think he's better than Jordan, but at the same time, I didn't get to watch Jordan, so
Mhm.
I can't really compare the two myself. So, LeBron is the Jordan of my time. So I'm going with LeBron.
And that's like exactly what like that's what I say. For the guys that are like my dad's like 40 something years old. For like the 40-year-olds and up out there that love Michael Jordan, like that's great. But like LeBron, like that's my guy. Like all the stories my dad would tell me about Michael Jordan. He actually lived in Chicago and had like season tickets for the Bulls, so a lot of that stuff he was actually there to see in person. So
Hmm.
like a lot of stuff he's saying. I mean, we were never seeing ticket holders like for the Heat, but still, like I love LeBron. So kind of the way he talks about Michael Jordan, same way he talk about LeBron. So like that, you really kind of hit the over the nail on the head or whatever the saying is called with that one for sure.
Yeah.
And I actually, so I know that somebody that's pretty close to LeBron, a Bronny, was breathing the same air as you recently when you were playing against Strive for Greatness. I doubt you were like kind of like fanboying, but did it ever cross your mind like this guy's dad's like LeBron James?
Nah, not really. I was just more focused on winning the game, so I wasn't really paying attention to LeBron's son that much. But I was kind of hoping that he played, just be able to see the all the clips and the stuff that you see on YouTube. I was wanting to see it for myself in person while we was on the court together. But unfortunately, he was hurt, so I was kind of disappointed. But it never really crossed my mind that he's really LeBron's son.
Yeah, but luckily for you, I mean, he was still, getting a lot of love on Ball His Life and like slamming everything just for him being in the building, which is cool in itself. But I forgot, was it a blowout or was it kind of close? I do know you guys won though.
Yeah, we won I think by 6.
Okay, that's what I thought, but first I thought it was like a blowout. But yeah, but I guess that game, even though Bronny's not there playing, like that team just has such a big name like around them. Strive for greatness. Like everyone kind of knows like the amount of clout they bring. So playing like that game, what was the? I guess that may be the matchup you were looking forward to the most.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that game. I was wanting Bronny to play, but I was already confident that he probably wasn't because of his injury. But when Amari Bailey sat out against us, that kind of disappointed me a little bit. He's like a top 10 player in my class, and I'm trying to crack the top 100 for ESPN. So if he would have been playing, I know that would have boosted my stock even more. So I was very disappointed that he didn't play. But going into the game, the game was packed, standing room only. So I knew those big games that we always show up, and that's what we did. So we just played our game. Shared the ball, found an open man. We dominated them early, and then they kind of came back in the second half. But we closed the deal and was able to come out there with a win.
And you're probably gonna give me like a very similar response, but at the same time, like when you see, Bronny's not playing and Mari Bailey's not playing, I mean the thoughts are more, all right, they're better players or they're more well known players aren't playing. So we're going to hopefully win. Like we maybe not have like a much better roster now compared to them. So just like why are you like mad that they were when they were sitting out instead of thinking like, all right, this game's going to be a little bit easier now. I could probably dominate a little more.
Uh, because like I said, I'm trying to get where they are right now, like in the ranking wise, and so me being able to play against the top 10 kid nationally ranked in my class, I know that would have been able to boost my stock. And just to see what these kids are really about. I see them on social media, but seeing them behind a phone, and they're on the court with you is like totally different. So I was looking forward for the matchup with me and Amari Bailey and me and Bronny, but it didn't happen. So hopefully we'll see him again in another tournament. But you know we never really wanted it easy. So
Hmm. Have there been any players though that like you do see all over your social media that you were able to play against? Luckily, like not even like just like at that recent tournament, or maybe like other stuff too.
no, not really. All the teams that we've played that have had big name people, they've all played. So we played the two 5-star twins who just signed with
Yeah, yeah,
overtime.
yeah. Yeah, the Buleys. Yeah, they're from like where I'm from.
Yeah, we played them, and we played the two 5-star Thompson twins who also
Yeah,
just signed with overtime.
yeah. All everyone from where I live, man. They're gone now. So yeah, it's that whole team is now all people from like my area, which is like good and bad at the same time. But luckily, we still have like a top 25 team here. But unless they get split up, it'll get pretty ugly for me. But if not, I'm still kind of not too upset. But I want to ask you about that. Like I was thinking about it. I would say I feel like the G League and the overtime elite thing, I feel like are two completely different things. Like it's one thing to go to the G League and like, you're basically like an NBA player almost. But then they go to this overtime thing, you're losing your college eligibility. You're not really like in school anymore. While for the G League, it's basically like, that's equivalent to you going to college, which is still like you growing up. But playing for overtime elite, like that's like the end of you're ending your childhood early, where eventually you're gonna look back on it and probably be like, oh, like I wish I probably stayed in high school and just lived a normal life. If overtime elite happened to offer you a good amount of money, I guess how heavy would you consider it?
Uh, me and my parents, I brought it up to my parents, and we thought about it. If it was to come, my dad said that we would sit down and talk about it, but I know my mom would be against it because she's big on the education part. But like I explained it to him, it would just be like, so if I signed 2 years, it would just be like I'm the first year I'm a senior in high school, so I'm playing my high school year, getting paid, and then the next year I'm getting paid and I'm basically in college. So then the next year I'll be entering the draft. So that's kind of how I explained it to him. But not being able to get your diploma or college education, that's kind of something that you need. So I mean, it would be something to definitely consider because the ultimate goal is to get playing the game that you love, whether it's in the NBA or overseas. So.
Yeah, and I kind of like agree with what you said too, but I mean, I'd be shocked if they literally don't educate them like at all on like normal school stuff. But it's like I mean, all due respect to like all those big time like national programs, everything that do whatever that are traveling all over the country and somehow do like school. Like I feel like it can't compare. Like they could say it's hard, but there's just no way like that school is the same as just going to normal school and like I feel like it has to be easier because there's no way all those kids are just like geniuses and are doing normal school while traveling like that. So I feel like if you desperately need the money, like obviously like at the end of the day, like you got to survive. So if that's what you got to do, like do it. But I think if you're like fortunate enough to be doing fine, I would agree with you and just kind of stay back, get your high school diploma, and all that stuff, and then kind of take it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going into your senior year next year, actually, first off, I kind of want to talk about like AAU. Well, I guess first things first, like how long have you been playing for Team Curry for?
This is my first year playing AAU since seventh grade.
Oh wow.
And in seventh grade, I was actually on the team with Jason Gortman. So, me and
Okay.
him go way back. And, this is the first year that I've actually been playing at the elite level. So,
So are you saying like this is the first year you're playing AAU basketball on elite level, or is it literally like your first year playing AAU basketball in general since seventh grade?
yeah, my first year in general.
Yeah. I was not even gonna ask that question, but now I'm glad like I did ask you like about playing with Team Curry and everything. I mean AAU basketball is such a big deal to exposure. I guess a question with that, do you maybe think the reason why you didn't have too many offers kind of entering your high school basketball season this year was maybe because you didn't play AAU basketball?
Yeah, it definitely was because, like during the season, a lot of schools were, contacting me like left and right after seeing my numbers, but, they didn't really know who I was because I didn't play AAU, and my coach would always tell me, he's like, you should probably have like way more offers than you do if you would have been playing AAU, at least since last year, but the timing felt right. So I jumped out there now, and I still think I can accomplish what I've been wanting to accomplish. So I think it's a good time right now.
And if you can share, like, why'd you choose to not play AAU basketball since seventh grade?
Uh, I wasn't really strong enough. So I got in the weight room. Start working on my game more. So when the time came that I was straight on go mode. So it kind of helped. It helped a lot. Being able to focus on my game and staying in the gym, going in the gym twice a day, instead of going to play all these games every weekend.
For sure. And since you are like blowing up and getting offers left and right and everything, I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna assume you really were putting in that work since seventh grade, and you're not the only like big time player that just chooses to not play AU basketball. Like I know Eric Daly Jr. He at least I'm pretty sure this year. Well, I know for a fact so far he hasn't played any AAU games, and I know like during the Corona and everything, like he wasn't just trying to find an AAU team. He was just with his dad training and stuff like that, and a lot of people, they're saying like, oh, like there's duck and smoke and all that stuff. But what do you say to people that kind of hate on kids that don't choose to play AU basketball, that just choose to just work on themselves instead?
I mean, at the end of the day, you know what's best for you. So if that's what you feel like is right, then that's what you should do. Like you shouldn't jump out there on the biggest stage, your high school career, and look bad, and then you get hurt worse. So you rather go from a unknown name and then jump out there on AAU when you feel ready, uh, and feel good about yourself and your body and your game than to go out there just because people telling you to, and then you look bad. So I would tell them that the players and the coaches and their parents know what's best for them. So respect what they do.
And I kind of like playing devil's advocate a little bit in these interviews. So just to like the other side, and not to make you like feel bad for your decision or anything, but just more to, I guess maybe you kind of bring up a little like little of the argument. Like I'm sure if you were playing AU basketball, eighth grade summer, like ninth grade summer, all that stuff. I mean, you could of course still train and develop yourself on the side. Plus, you're getting that good like. Hopefully, you would be playing for like a high level team, like high level game competition where I'm sure you realize, and this is what I've heard from many coaches and like podcasts and everything, like no type of training beats playing in a game. Like you cannot simulate that at all, like whatsoever. So again, like why would you say like it was kind of fine for you just to sit back and develop yourself when I think you probably would have turned out very similar to the way you are today if you just chose to play AU basketball and maybe train a little bit less.
Like I said, I didn't feel like I was ready at the time. So just one of those decisions where we're just gonna we're just gonna stay in the gym and train, and until your time comes. So like my past high school seasons was rocky. I might be doing good for 3 games, then I lay an egg the next 4 games. So my consistency level wasn't there on the playing standpoint. So jumping out there um, on the AU circuit, and then all those coaches, watching and uh, I'm in person with them, and they seeing how inconsistent I was. I think that would have hurt me more then it would have helped me. So I can get all those mistakes out in the gym private, and get better every summer. And then this year, it all clicked. I was I averaged 23 points a game. I was consistent every game, and then the confidence led into the AU season. So now it's just like the bucket is getting bigger every time I step on the court because my confidence level is so high, and I'm trusting in what I've already done those past years.
Yeah, and that definitely is. I guess you said like I would agree with what you're doing, but I almost feel like even though you're saying your confidence had to build up, I feel like choosing to not play AU basketball and just work on your game by yourself. I feel like that takes confidence in itself because you might have like for me like I'd have like FOMO, like fear of missing out. Like I'd be like, oh, what if I'm missing out on this opportunity to play in this tournament? I'm just here like and no one has any idea what I'm doing. Like I also think like that decision just to not play for AU basketball for such a long period of time. I even think that takes confidence in yourself as well. Like you knew like did you really know like I was going to come back good after just putting in all this work for all this time?
I kind of did. I trusted my dad and my coaches, because they've been on the road that I'm trying to get on. So I trusted them, and just worked, and now the work is paying off at the right time.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get the opportunity? Again, I say in every question since it's such a long break. How did Team Curry kind of find out about you, and how were you able to just start off on a high level team like that?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, my assistant high school basketball coach reached out to Coach Sims with Team Curry, and he told me when the tryout was, and I tried out for the team. I had a great tryout, and I made it, and we've been rolling ever since. So if I'm not mistaken, that's how I got connected with Team Curry.
Were you like because I know like there's a lot of kind of politics and inside stuff that goes on with it. Like I know a lot of teams like I'm even surprised you said like there were tryouts because for a lot of teams like there's not tryouts, and if there are tryouts they're quote unquote like tryouts, like they already got the team uh all set up. So were you like the only guy on your team trying out, or was everybody trying out together, or what?
Everybody was trying out together, so you had all the coaches from Team Curry's 17, 16, 15 was there. Then you had the PSB coaches there, which is under Team Curry, and we all tried out. They split us up. Sometimes they put us together to play, and they kind of just pick their teams like based off of how good you were. during the tryout. So I think everybody tried out. Everybody was trying out, and it might have been a few people that they had already had picked on the team because they played last year. So you know, everything else was everybody was trying out for what I know.
For sure. And but let's just say you maybe didn't make Team Curry for whatever, like maybe you had like a bad thing for breakfast, something like that. Like let's say you didn't make the team, what would have been the plan for you?
Uh, I probably would have, tried and had my assistant coach, reach out and see if he could get me on another shoe team or another good AU organization.
And what's your connection like, with your assistant coach, where he's basically doing like I know what that's like. I mean, not reaching out to AU teams to play, but like I know that's like reaching out to tons of people just for like one opportunity and everything. That's what I gotta do for most things basically. So just what's it like knowing you got someone like him in your corner, where if you kind of think about it in a way, like and he probably is like regardless, like he's probably one of the main reasons why you're at the point where you are today with all your success.
It feels good. He's my trainer as well. So he's seeing me every day, whether it's a practice, the games. So, he knows what I need to work on, and I can go talk to him about anything. And there our relationship is pretty tight because he was with me my freshman year at Gaston Day. So was my head coach now. So the relationship is real strong, and we joke a lot, but we mean business once we step on the court. So it's a great relationship to have, and I'm thankful for him.
And next year, if I mean, I'm assuming like maybe the team you say that you might not even play, but like if you could make the schedule and pick your schedule for next year, what team, and somewhat realistic team that you could probably play, like which teams do you want to play next year? Really bad for high school basketball in your senior year.
I definitely want to play Combine because they just won a championship. They're the hottest thing in North Carolina. So I want to play them, whether we win or lose, just to see what they're about. And I want to play all the top teams in North Carolina. I want to play a few, like maybe an IMG or somebody like that, just to kind of balance ourselves and see where we stand. Uh, but I think it's possible because we'll be in the John Wall Invitational this year. So I'm looking forward to all those coaches that I know gonna be there. The Coach K, um, UNC's coach, NC State. So I'm looking forward to going up there and putting on the show for those guys, and hopefully play some big name teams.
Yeah, I know that invitational is definitely probably one of the more bigger and I mean I don't know how it's going to be like next year if there's still going to be a lot of corona protocols, but I know that you like that event usually draws in a pretty big crowd as well. But what about for AU basketball? Like is Bronny and Amari Bailey, like are those kind of the two guys you really wanted to play, or what player for AU or what team do you really want to play if you haven't played them already?
Uh, it doesn't that doesn't really matter to me because I know we're playing against 4 or 5 stars every time we step on the court. So that doesn't really matter. But when we play those teams, I would like for them those 4 and 5 stars to play. I don't want them to feel like they're they're better than everybody else because they're nationally ranked high or 4 or 5 stars. So I'll be wanting those guys to play. If they're not hurt, I feel like they should be playing. So I don't really have a certain team or certain people that I want to go play them.
Definitely. What are your expectations? I mean, again, like you have played against teams that are very similar in terms of I guess maybe like roster wise and like talent and everything compares to the UAA circuit. But what are you expecting the UAA circuit's going to be like since you've never really experienced it?
I'm not really sure. I know we played two UAA teams already, which were the Bewley twins. We had those guys beat, but we got careless with the last, I think, 5 minutes. Team Charlotte, we had those. We was in a dogfight with them until the last 3 4 minutes. So those are two teams that we'll hopefully see during the UAA session. So a lot of people saying those are the two best teams. So I think that if those are the two best teams, like people say they are, then we have a chance to steal it and win this thing. But I don't really know what to expect because I haven't really been here. So and I haven't really kept up with UAA circuit. It's always been more of the Peach Jam, and uh, I haven't really heard about the UAA circuit as much as I've been hearing about the UIBL circuit.
Yeah. So I guess was it more like because I then why would you choose to play for Team Curry? Was it because like your trainer, assistant coach maybe has a better connection with them, or like why'd you choose that to play for them instead of maybe pursuing to play for an EYBL team since that's kind of what you know more about?
Team Curry, I was already locked in with him. You know, I felt good with the team after the first practice. Then a few weeks later, CP3 had contacted me saying that they wanted me to play with them, but I wasn't gonna leave Team Curry, and I already felt the fit and the vibe with them. So I felt like me staying with Team Curry was the best situation for me. So that's what me and my parents decided to do.
And Team Curry, like I mean, a lot of the sneaker teams are basically like all equivalent to each. Like, there's no difference between like the best Adidas or Under Armour team and the best Nike team. Like, they're all loaded rosters all around. It's kind of like what brand you want on your jersey and your shoes, pretty much. But just kind of like a final question to just wrap up this whole interview, like a good way to end it off. Even though you did throw South Carolina under the bus with the whole South Carolina North Carolina debate, you did say how you're kind of the first guy to make it out where you are, like with athletics and everything like that. So just what does it mean to you to kind of be that role model for future generations and future kids in your neighborhood to just look up to you and see everything you've done from where you live?
It feels good because my dad always tell me to don't forget where I come from. Try to give back to the kids coming up. So every time I'm riding around and I might ride my bike or I'm walking around, the kids, they'll stop by and talk to me. It was kind of funny because my dad went into the store a few days ago, and one of my little cousins was like he wants to start training, to get as good as I am. So that kind of that kind of meant a lot to me, for me to, go back and, help some of the kids that's trying to get to the level I am and, instill in them that anything is possible. And that it only takes one from our area to make it. And then, all the kids will start believing that they can make it too because they've seen somebody that they know, make it. So, it means a lot. And, I try to go out every game, put on for my family and for the people in my neighborhood as well.
For sure. And that was my final question, but you just said something like it's not even like a crazy question, but you bring up like riding your bike. That's something that I've kind of started doing during Corona and everything. I started like just going on bike rides, whatever. Is that something you do like a lot when you have time, or is that just or like do you ride your bike a lot, or not really?
Not really. I might do it occasionally if my friends out, we don't feel like walking or we ain't got the car at the time, I ride my bike, but most of the time you'll see us driving around. Uh, I'm gonna just keep it on. It'd be too hot for
Yeah,
that
yeah,
right now.
yeah. You got your license and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, same here. It's pretty like I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not the biggest highway fan. I'm a big fan of the highway, so I'm not like driving all over the place like for no reason. But it's definitely the best is just driving to your music, man. That is probably one of the best feelings for sure.
Facts.
Yeah, actually, no, I have to admit though. So there's one highway I actually like driving on. Driving on the highway late at night that is you literally feel like you're in a movie. I don't know if you've done that before. I was driving back from like a basketball tournament thing, and it was probably like a 20 minute drive on the highway, and like probably maybe 10 minutes like on normal road and everything. But bro, there's no cars there. Like like it is the best thing. You literally feel like you're in a movie. Like it's unexplainable.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if you ever experienced that before, but that's crazy too. But anyways, man, made it to the end of the interview and I actually have like a slight kind of tradition I've done with my interview. So I'm gonna plug your Instagram. Obviously, that's what I do as my little closing. But I see there's a number 2 at the end of your Instagram. And I see it's the number you wear on your jersey and everything. So it's always like a tradition. I see a number, I ask about it usually at the end of the interview. So what does that number 2 mean to you?
There really isn't a meaning for it. There was just a number that kind of stuck out there with me. So that's a number that I roll with.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of guys kind of have that. Some have reasons, some don't. But it's a tradition. I see the number. I just realized it, so gotta ask. But anyways, man, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at MJ Collins 2. I'm at iHoopsFL. And anyways, bro, really appreciate you coming on, letting me interview and everything. Means a lot. But yeah, so for Westminster, Catawba, hope I said that right. Christian School,
Yeah.
MJ, or sorry, Caldwell Guard, MJ Collins. I'm Isaac Fleischer. This has been another IU Self interview. Peace out, guys.